What's up, VC? This is Brad from H2Vinyl, and I got my second VCLT. This was mailed to me by, just blocking out the addresses here, mailed to me by none other than, you know, the hat from Peaches from the Vinyl Countdown. I have opened this but haven't looked inside. I've got some gaff tape covering this, so I'm going to open this for the very first time, and I think I know what he's sending me. He did mention it to me. It was a Snoop album, but this feels more than just one album, so let's see what else he's sending me here. So I'll open this up. Oh, there's a note. I'll read through it real quick. Alright, yeah, it looks like I can read this. So it says, "Dear B-Rad and Kitty," Bato and Vidal, I'm guessing. "I had these laying around in the house and thought you might like to give them a spin. Should really take you back to the 90s. Have fun, Mr. and Mrs. Peaches, the Vinyl Countdown." So thank you for that note. I'll put that right there. Alright. Huh. Okay, so it looks like we've got several albums here. Yeah, 5 or 6. Wow, okay. I'm seeing MoFi sleeves as well. Yeah, alright. So, looks like majority of this is I'm gonna guess hip hop. Some of this stuff I don't know. 95 North. This is a single. Let Yourself Go. I know 95 South. They were a hip hop group with their main song was "Whoop." There it is, and it's not "whoop," it's "whoop." I've looked it up. 95 North. I am not familiar with this, Peaches. So yeah, I'll give this a spin. Tri-Tech. I know of High-Tech 3, but Tri-Tech, this is the B side, so let me see what the A side is. This says Foxy Lady. So let's see what the A side is. Again, Foxy Lady. By Groove, on the Groove Control label. So Tri-Tech, I do not know this as well. I have no idea. This 1992. My guess is this is techno. Let me put this back in here. Audio Assault Squad. This is Fat, and here's how it goes. Alright, so it looks like another single as well. Again, I don't know this. Twista, Mobber's Anthem. I'm going to guess that this is probably gangster rap from what year? 97. Alright. There we go. Another one I don't know. And then the one that he mentioned that he was going to send to me, which is Snoop's 1998 album, Snoop Dogg's "The Game is Sold, Not to Be Told." There we go. The game is to be sold, not to be told. And so there is that album as well. It's 2 LPs. Both. Man, you're awesome with the MoFi sleeves. Thank you. I pretty much use those exclusively. Thank you. I am gonna, as tradition, tradition being only one more video before this one with VCLT, but I'm going to give these a week to listen to them all, and I'm gonna give you guys an update after listening to these. So look forward to that in a few seconds. So it's a few weeks later, and Peaches, my apology, I said that this was only going to take a week, and you're probably wondering, where in the world is this video? Yeah, I really don't have any excuse. Just things got crazy in life, and this took longer. Plus, I was able to dive into the music a little bit more as well. So, I'm gonna hit off with the heavy hitter, and that is Snoop's album. This is, as I said, his 1998 album. It's like a sentence. The name of the game is to be sold, or sorry, the game is to be sold, not to be told. And that's his 98 album. I haven't printed off any little cheat sheets for this. I haven't been listening to much vinyl lately, so I haven't made any. This was a pretty good album. I think the first 2 or 3 sides, I was pretty right. I was really writing down almost every track. I liked looking at this. I really liked Snoop World. I liked Slow Down. Gin and Juice 2 was all right. It kind of gave homage to his first album. And then looking on side B here, True Tank Dogs was pretty good. Still a G Thing wasn't bad as well. And then the one that really stood out to me was I was talking with my roommate at the time, and it pulled me, as I was listening to it, it pulled me away from the conversation the first time I heard it. I'm like, I think it's called DP Gangster, Dog Pound Gangster, and Gangsta, and pulled me out of the conversation. And I was like, "You hear this?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "That's Snoop. He's hearkening back to the NWA days, the early NWA days." And he's like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, I really like that song." So, as I normally do with a lot of my stuff, really enjoyed this album. Thank you for the VCLT Peaches. I'm going to play a few tracks off of this. I'm going to try and keep it as mild as I can. It's going to be tough with this one. But yeah, here are a few tracks of this album.
Welcome to this world that you never thought existed, and you got to be a soldier, be enlisted. Listen, I'm gonna take your mind and your body and your soul on a whole little trip. Just don't lose your grip. Wait a second, where is this at? You don't have to ask no questions, just jump in the back and leave your strap. Cause ain't none of that, where we going, it ain't nothing but 808 beats and flowing.
Slow my roll down to a pimp strut and started putting all this game on records. From my come up, from sun up to sundown, I'm trying to get my money. Haters ain't gonna stop me, cause haters can't run me.
The second vinyl that Peaches gave for VCLT is Twista. Wasn't really sure what this was. I didn't know if it was going to be kind of techno, because we had talked about some techno, and then he also mentioned that he was going to give Snoop's album, so I didn't know if this was going to be hip-hop. I'm not really sure what to call this. I want to say that it's rap. I just got done watching Mr. Hall of Fame video where he talks about hip-hop and how it's and rap and how they're kind of interchangeable, but he doesn't think that they should be. And so I'm not 100% certain what to call this. I'm going to call this rap. Quite possibly even gangster rap. And this was an album released in 1997. Looks almost to be like a promo copy due to the white label. I'm not sure if it is or not. Didn't see anything on the cover. I think this is just basically a generic cover. This album really didn't stand out to me all that much. They have three different versions of their first song, Get It Wet, and then on the flip side, it's Mobster's Anthem. That kind of gives you the clue that it's gangster rap. And I think they have three versions of that as well. You know, they have the clean radio cut. They have the album version, which probably has the cussing, and then the instrumental. And on the B side, I think they were trying to harken to the day of Dre's first release in 1992. So it was 5 years or so. But it was kind of, I don't know if they got permission to use the beat or they probably manufactured it on their own. But it felt like the Neptunes versus H2Vinyl court case. If you haven't seen that court case, here's a copy of that right now.
If it pleases the court, I'd like to make a rather unusual request.
Mama, she will show you love her.
Stirring.
You're my honey.
Same song. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I love Harvey Birdman. Oh man, they were so brilliant back in the early 2000s. So getting back onto Twista, like I said before, I'm pretty sure that they manufactured the beat on their own, and I think that they were trying to pay homage to Dre, but at the same time I felt like it was a little bit of a slap on the face because I had never heard of Twista, not once. And granted, this was after my era of gangster rap, but I lost my train of thought here. A slap in the face to Dre because I felt like they were trying to stand on his beat, saying, yeah, we can rap on this beat as well. So anyway, this one didn't really do it for me, Peaches. But thank you for the gift. And I'm going to play probably the clean track on both sides to kind of give you a taste of what it is. So the first track is Get It Wet, clean version. And then the second track is Mobster's Anthem. So here they are.
Dear love, I was thinking how I should be starting this. Magnificent ways to light your life up like an arsonist. From my heart in this, tickling your funny bone when we start to kiss. Marvelous how I see you in the cut, chilling with your homies, getting toe up. I got fantasies how you carry me home. Hope that you're staying alone. I'm meant to give them pleasure, echoing the rhythms of my manly moans. Don't be playing me wrong, I'm too grown for games. Mental manipulation ain't the occupation for the player you facing. I'm strong, plus you see it, don't be really quite coming on the same. Bowling your body fluids with pace, where these brothers learn the better pain and stress. Look at murder in the face, coming up with a while and the range get blessed. 1, 2, 3 into the 4-4. The good, the bad, and the ugly sticking you. Fleeing through the front door, and we gotta do one more. Even though Debo watching me, life's a lottery. We can still fulfill this West Side Odyssey. Master problem, Marvin.
What could be better than mixed drinks, ladies, and loot? Jagging off 20 G's.
The third gift I received from Peaches is techno. This is by Tritech. The song's called Foxy Lady. There's a remix on the B side and a straight mix on the A side. This was pretty good. Nothing that really stood out to me, but one thing about the music that I enjoy, I like a lot of dynamics. When the song starts, okay, it's fine to be a certain way to a point, but then over the course of maybe half the song, I'm gonna want it to change some way, some kind of hook to grab me. I think that's why I like Queens of the Stone Age a lot. I'm wearing their shirt today, just because somewhere in the middle of their song, they pivot and change the sound quite dramatically. In many of their songs that way. And this did that to some point. Somewhere in the middle, they have like a pretty decent drum break. The droning of the electronic stuff, the kind of the melody was done well enough that I didn't get tired of it. Sometimes I can get tired of techno that goes on for 7 or 8 minutes, especially stuff from this 1992, especially of some of the earlier stuff. But this didn't do that. I really enjoyed both sides. Both sides were different enough. And let me just see let me get this out. Yeah, the bent mix. That's right. The bent mix is on side 2. So I really did enjoy this. Thank you, Peaches. I'm going to play a little bit of both sides. This is Foxy Lady by Tritech. And I'll be playing both the straight mix and the bent mix. Here they are. The fourth is kind of a maxi single. It's also techno. I thought, I think I said 95 North. Whoop, there it is. Was that Tag Team or 95 North? I'm not sure. Whoop, whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. There were two versions of the song. One done by Tag Team, the other one done by 95 South. I thought that this was going to be along this vein. This is 95 North. This is techno. Want to say, what year was this? 95. Yeah, 1995. Maxi single. Pretty much the song is Let Yourself Go. And they have 3 different dubs. Five different dubs of the song. Is there 2 on the backside or backside? Side B. Yeah, so there are 5. There are 2 on side B, 3 on side A. This was probably the toughest to listen to, and I think it was one of, besides Snoop's '98 album. I think that this was really popular in the techno scene back in the mid '90s. Though I had never heard it. All the things that I mentioned in the last one, this just didn't grab my attention. The samples were in every song and they were not changed up anyway, and I was like, oh yeah. I got the same way with like Technotronic, what was the big Technotronics hit back in High Tech 3, No Assault, that's probably it. High Tech 3, I get Technotronics and High Tech 3 mixed up sometimes. But High Tech 3, No Assault, whatever, and I ordered that on vinyl and got to listening to it. I think there were like 5 or 6 remixes of it, and by the end I'm like, I never want to hear this song again. This was a little of that for this. By the time I got done with the 4th one, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be pulling this one off the shelf for anytime soon. Maybe it's for you. And I'll be playing maybe 1 or 2 of these. I don't think that the dubs differed from one another all that much, and I think that it just got a little tough on the ears after a while. So here is Let Yourself Go by 95 North. And I'll be playing 1 or 2 tracks from that. So here is this album, or maxi single. There we go. fifth, and for me, saving the best for last, this is another, I mentioned earlier I didn't know any of these, and this is Audio Assault Squad. Tried to do some research on these guys and found absolutely nothing other than the genre and the song titles in Discogs. Quite interesting that they didn't have the release here, and Peaches, I'm gonna do a little bit of mad skills on this one. I was actually amazed with myself that I was right. Anyway, or I was at least close to right. I at first thought that this was kind of techno, and it's not. It's hip hop / rap. I would say it's hip hop. And I was trying to designate what year it was from, and the first thing that came to mind, I was like, they sound a little like Cypress Hill. They sound a little like Cypress Hill early years. So I'm going to deem this 1992. And then about halfway into each of the tracks, especially on the Dis is Fat side, the song on side A, Dis is Fat, and then side B, Here's How It Goes. Definitely side A is the strong one. And about halfway into each of the tracks, there was a DJ type scratch break, and it lasted for a good majority of the rest of the song on each of the three on side A, and I really, really enjoyed it. That's what did it for me. I like that stuff. And I was like, well, so if I placed it in 1992, gangster rap was pretty much in full swing on the West Coast, and if you listen to that stuff, there is no scratching whatsoever. It's all serious business, especially toward the 90s. And I'm like, but if you were to listen to what was coming out of the East Coast, there was a lot of scratching, and there was a lot of just having fun. I'm thinking of Beastie Boys and even later on, Notorious B.I.G. had some scratching as well. And it wouldn't necessarily label this as gangster rap, but they sound a lot, like I said, they sound a lot like Cypress Hill. And so I'm thinking, okay, 92 scratching, this has to be on the East Coast. And the fun thing was, on the last track on side B, they said 9 Trey, which is 93, and they also said Chicago. So I was pretty close on both accounts. So yeah, that's using the old noodle. Anyway, I think that this was the big score in this VCLT. I had never heard of Audio Assault Squad, and Peaches, thank you so much for this. I listened to this probably 6 or 7 times by now, and really, really, hands down, enjoy it the most. Right next to the Snoop Dogg album, and then the Tri-Tech as well. So out of the 5, thank you so much. 3 of them really stuck with me, and so really, really cool. And so to top this out, I'm going to play a couple of probably the DJ portion of Dis is Fat, one of those mixes, and then I'm gonna play a little bit off of side B as well. So here are those 2 songs.
There is no competition. There is no competition.
Peaches, thank you so much. If I haven't mentioned before, this is my second VCL. I don't remember what I did like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't look at the video yet. I just don't do that. This is my second VCLT, and so thank you very much. Thank you most of all for your friendship. Man, I will always remember the time that you sent me a message via Facebook and said, hey, I'm looking at getting a Queens of the Stone Age album. Which one should I get? And then you got two, which surprised me. And then we listened to them via Facebook one Friday night. I knew you were playing it. I started playing it, and we kind of talked it through, and I will always remember that. So cool. And you found a copy. You told me that I think it was like a Swedish live edition. You really might want to get with Captain Handlebar. He may know about that album, but I'm hoping you're really enjoying that live album. I had never heard of that live album. What was it? Vicodin and alcohol or something like that. Anyway, or alcohol and Vicodin. It's part of one of their songs, but anyway. Hope you're enjoying that. I wore this t-shirt for you. I would have probably gone with Prince for you, but I don't have any Prince t-shirts. So I was thinking of you when I put this on tonight. So anyway, hope you're doing well. Thank you again for the VCLT. And we will talk to you soon, and take care, man. Everyone else, have a great evening, and I hope everyone's listening to great vinyl. Talk to you later. Bye.